Hi, gang. Marklark here, coming from Surprise, Arizona. And as far as I know, the only streamer in Arizona. Please, internet, prove me wrong. I was looking at my YouTube channel the other day, and I realized in the little banner that I have, it says video games, music, and movies. And I realized I have zero content about movies. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to finally get something up there, my thoughts, as movies are one of my favorite things. Obviously, video games and music coming before that, which I have plenty of content on my channel. But let's do this. Let's just make it simple. We're going to talk about my favorite movies. Now, I didn't really number these. I think there's like 15 or something like that. I just started writing down all my favorite movies, and I believe the top four I actually do have numbered, and I'll explain why when we get to those movies. But let's jump right in. These are my favorite movies. Rocky. This is a great sports, inspirational, and iconic movie, but there is one simple aspect that puts this movie on this list: the love story. Unlike most movies like The Notebook, A Walk to Remember, or even The Princess Bride, this is a completely believable love story. I would go as far as to say this is the best love story ever told in film. Why? Because this is real. Rocky and Adrian's relationship starts like many. It's awkward and cringeworthy at times because she is so shy and he's kind of a doofus, but they work well together. They complement each other.
Why do you want to fight?
Because I can't sing or dance. Hey, yo.
I would even say that this is a movie about love. Yeah, you heard me. This is not a sports movie, but a love story. And I have some proof. There's a simple question you can ask yourself. Where is Rocky's head at the end of the fight? Does he care about losing the fight? No, he can care less. He even tells Apollo he doesn't want a rematch. But what does he do? He calls out for Adrian.
When the 15th runs, you're coming out.
And that's what this is all about. Sure, he wanted to get some type of redemption for himself and prove he can put up a fight against Apollo, but at the end of the day, he asked Adrian a simple question, and it shows where his heart is and what this movie is all about.
Adrian!
Back to the Future. These movies are dang near perfect. Well, at least the first one is. I love the idea of going back and seeing your parents' relationship, how they got together, how they met, and really what they were like before they had kids. This idea is given a fun twist when Marty's mom actually falls in love with him. This leads to some very funny and weird moments between Marty and his younger parents. The climax of the film is so exciting that it's really broken up into three parts: George versus Biff, then Marty playing guitar building up to his parents' first kiss,
Excuse me.
then Marty getting back to the future. Oh, and shout out to part 2. That was actually my favorite when I was a kid, and that was because of all the futuristic stuff and fun things that we got to see. I actually wasn't a huge fan of the third one, not until recently, when you really kind of look at all these movies in one big picture and you realize they're all pretty awesome and they all go together, but part 1 is the one that I will usually always go back to more often. The Muppet Christmas Carol. I love the Muppets. I love Christmas. I love this movie. Well, actually, I don't really think I have a choice with this one as far as putting it on the list. We actually watched this movie every Christmas Eve for the past, well, ever since I can really remember. This is the last thing we see before we go to bed and wake up for Christmas. So, what makes this Christmas Carol better than the rest? Well, the Muppets. Yes, they are a big part of making this movie great, but Michael Caine as Scrooge is what really wins me over with this one. I have yet to see a better Scrooge in a movie. He is really a mean dude at the beginning of this film, and you can really see the redemption of his character by the end. Also, there are two very specific moments in this film that make me tear up every year, and they both involve Michael Caine's great acting. The first moment comes at the end of the movie when Beaker gives Scrooge a scarf. The look on Michael Caine's face says it all.
A gift? A gift for me? Thank you.
It's as if this was the first time he was given a present with no other motive or obligation but to say thank you. The other scene is actually cut out in most versions of the film. There is a song between a young Scrooge and his fiancée. This song is so heartbreaking that test audiences said it was too sad for a Muppet movie, and they cut it out. That makes no sense. This is the reason he is the way he is. This moment, this breakup between him and his love. And they actually even reprised the song at the end of the movie with happier, different lyrics. Bad move on the producers. But you can find the scene on YouTube and one of the DVDs. I believe it's the 20th anniversary or something like that. Anyway, the song is sung by his fiancée, and old Scrooge is watching the scene play out with the ghost of Christmas past. At the end of the song, old Scrooge joins his fiancée and sings just some of the most heartbreaking lyrics, and Michael Caine breaks down.
And yes, some dreams come true, and yes, some dreams fall through. Yes, the time has come for us to say goodbye.
It looks so real, I can't help but tear up. You can see the absolute heartbreak in old Scrooge. And I'm declaring, at least for myself, there is no better heartbreaking scene than this. And this is why we watch this movie every year. The Warriors. Cool. Period. That's it. I don't think I have to say anything else about this movie besides one word. Cool. But I like to hear myself talk, so let's do this. I have yet to see any other movie that has so much atmosphere than The Warriors. We don't know much about all the gangs, but their character designs and the few minutes we have with them is all we need. This movie tells us so much about its world with not really having to explain anything, which is rare for movies nowadays. It's about a gang trying to get back to their turf after they are blamed for killing the leader of the top gang in New York. I don't really want to say much else about the plot. This is just a movie that you really have to experience. The music is great, the characters are fun and over the top. Is it a perfect movie? No, there are some issues, but I can look past all of that because this movie is just so freaking cool. Can you dig?